I'm your host, Ted Turner. And as always, it is our Wednesday weekly show. I'm here with the full crew, Mr.
Yep.
Adam Fisher, Rich Man. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. Good, good, good.
Rich is back with us after missing last week. So we get to hear your picks, not through text and through, uh, you know, the raring on the phone. And man, what an exciting week last week of college football, right? I mean,
Heck,
some
yeah.
knockoffs,
Best
some
ever,
expected
man.
wins. Crazy, man. Rich man, let's start with you, man. What was most exciting about last weekend besides the dogs winning?
Man, it was every game just seemed to be a pretty good game.
hmm
Yeah.
Some of the games were great, and the one thing like everybody looked like they had a pretty good defense, especially the
Yeah, I
defensive
was just
lines.
thinking that.
The defensive lines looked really strong with a lot of the programs. So I don't know, it's pretty
Yeah.
exciting. I think I think we're gonna have a very competitive season.
Yeah. Yeah. Fish, what was exciting to you about this past weekend other than the dogs pulling off the victory against Marshall? Which we
I
don't
was just, while he was saying it, I was literally thinking it. The defense seemed to be like everybody does seem to have a pretty good defense, a good solid defense this year. Like none of the games were blowouts or super
yeah.
high scoring affairs. Like Clemson was a low scoring game. Florida State got 31, but that's, still
I
kind of
mean, Ole Miss had
low.
one. What do you expect, right?
Yeah. Well, but like the bigger games, like the Miami game,
Oh yeah.
those they weren't crazy high scoring games, Clemson LSU, you know. Um, but in my house, the Friday night game was awesome to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was actually a good game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That was a good
Yeah,
game.
old Auburn, man. They managed to find an offense and still searching for a defense.
Yep.
Uh, but I mean, Baylor. I mean, the thing we talked about was Baylor's going to field a good defense, and so to see them drop, the 31, they dropped 31 on Baylor.
hmm
That was, I mean, I think for Hugh Freeze on the road, I mean, that's a good thing with his offense. And I mean, let's just be honest. Like, I feel like defenses tend to get a little bit better throughout the year. I think you sometimes can see what may happen with the offense from jump. Like it's going to
Yep.
struggle maybe here. But
hmm
defenses sometimes, as far as adjusting to, I mean, it could be week to week, man. I mean, we all know there's some. I mean, last year we could look like we did against Texas, and then we can look like we did against Ole Miss, and
Yep.
it's merely off game plan. So I agree, man. That was a fun game to watch, and I got
I
to see
think
more from Auburn though.
Yeah.
I think Hugh was stressed though, man, because
Yeah,
I
You can
think
tell.
Arnold needs weapons. They can't just depend on his legs.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Favorite moment, Fish, man. What was the favorite moment from 45-7 over Marshall?
Uh, Zach Branch all day long, dude. That third quarter swing pass that he turned into a touchdown, like he just hit a gear, man, and took off.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like Robert Griffith said, man, if he had hair, it'd be flowing.
yeah. That's good,
He
man.
was gone, dude. Like I love that, and I have strong feelings about him returning punts too. I don't think
Yeah,
he needs to be out there returning punts. I
yeah,
think he's too valuable to our team. He's way
They
too
put Dylan
important to
Bell
our
out
team.
there.
Yeah, we've
yeah,
got people that can do that. You
yeah,
know, he doesn't need to do that.
yeah. Rich man, as you watch the game and watch us win 45-7, what was the most exciting moment? Do you like? What were you? I mean, what were you
I
really
tell you, the
excited?
moment that stuck in my mind that just kind of got me fired up was when Gunner got that first fourth down conversion.
Hmm.
The whole defense went this way, and he just cut it. And
Hmm.
he is so decisive when he runs the ball.
Hmm.
hmm He
He
is.
he's not trying to put moves on anybody. He cuts and he's going like a
Yeah,
missile.
yeah,
So I was really really enjoyed that. That was I think we're going to see a lot of that this season. I think what we're going to see is it's going to open up a lot of the running game too, because everybody sees that they're going to have to stay at home and account for him.
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. I mean, same moments. I mean, Zach Branch. I mean, it was cool to see the brothers both kind of leading the day. Like Zach Branch, first wide receiver in the Kirby Smart era since I don't even think Lad did this. I wonder if I get this right, but I think it's in the past 7 to 8 years that we've seen a wide receiver grade out in the 90s. That was wild, right? 91 point something, and then Zion comes in, and a lot of we did a little preview show. Zion wore number 2, obviously, and he was everywhere. I think a lot of people are asking questions and like, who's 2? Like, hadn't seen this guy. He had 7 tackles, led the team in tackles, and so the Branch brothers definitely started off per se paying off their NIL bill on on Saturday. So yeah, I agree. Biggest moment for me, I think, was just, I think, and I know you sent me this earlier, Rich, but I was thinking the same thing about the defense. I was so, and I know it's Marshall, but you can look so much more in depth into our defense and see what was going on Saturday. There was incredible, like, I never seen a defensive line, and since the days of Jalen Carter 2-3 years ago, the defensive line that was taking on so many, like the blocking scheme and the double teams were so well done. I mean, you constantly saw holes being blown up. You constantly saw linebackers getting into the backfield. It was just enjoyable to see the quarterback uneasy all day. Running backs, I mean, there was no passing game. I mean, I don't want to make an excuse, but the 7-point bomb was offensive PI. If you go back and replay the
Dude,
footage,
that was
it doesn't
third
matter.
and fourth stringers. That was
Yeah.
third and fourth string, dude. That was a garbage touchdown.
Yeah, but it's an offensive PI. But here's something I heard Kirby say about this. He was asked about this. He was like, "Did you want the shutout?" And he said, "You know what?" He said, "We try to play more players than we do probably play more players in mop-up duty than any other team in college football, and that's why we can turn over 30 to 40% of our roster, and these guys are ready to play because it's more important for me to have a well-developed player. Statistics are one thing; they go away, but every single year, those are valuable minutes that players can play. I think that the number of players that play was something that was missed last year. Do you guys agree? I mean, we didn't get those blowouts last year.
We didn't get that.
Yeah, we were in the fourth quarter getting them in there. This time we were in the early in the third. So that was good to see for me. I felt like the defense played really, really well. I think we tackled well, and it was said, but I just felt like we were relentless, man. I felt like every single down, every player was just trying to hurt somebody. We were downhill.
It was very intentional.
Yeah.
Compared to how flat Texas and Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, the striking difference in that attitude and the way they play.
Yeah.
Yeah. CJ and Raylan were flying around just yowing people.
Yeah.
Like they were just laying the wood, dude.
I was very impressed with Raylan too. I mentioned him on my Overreaction Monday part that I put out. Raylan Wilson, I've seen some people grow up, man. Raylan, and you can sit there and say it all you want to. Well, finally, listen, guys, Kirby and Schumann, they play a really sophisticated, tough alignment of defense. If it works, it's the reason why Georgia continues to stay in the top 5 in defense. It's not just because we got good fast athletes. We've seen it in the NCAA. You can have good defenses with dumb mistakes, and it's going to be a bad defense. Yep. And so I think Raylan and people like Ellis, I mean, I heard Kirby finally say, it wasn't just the tackling with Ellis. It was the game readiness. It was the fast pace. It was where's your eyes at? That was something new to hear from Kirby. So I was, for me, it was just the intentionality of the defense playing a pretty spotless game until the third and fourth string was in there. So let me ask you guys this on the topic of defense, because we're going to hit probably a lot on the offense, and the offense has been talked about a lot leading up. One of the number one questions everybody had was, what's Gunnar going to look like? How's he going to take on this, and so on and so forth. But my question to you guys is, how can Georgia's defense be different this year and be a driver to set this offense up for success? Because I feel like what we saw from Gunnar in the offense on Saturday was when we gave him good field position, when we gave him rest, and I don't say rest, but we gave them positive plays where they could come in 3, 4, 5 chunk drives instead of having to go 13, 15, 17 plays. Do you remember some of those
Yeah.
drives last year, guys? I
Yeah.
mean, it was brutal. How can the
Yeah.
defense, I'll start with you, Fish first. How can the defense be different this year from previous defenses in the past?
Effort, especially after last year. Effort. Like defense is effort. I mean, it's knowing where to be and scheme and all that. That's true. But Alabama showed if you're not out there trying, giving 110% the whole game, you're going to get beat,
Mhm.
and you're going to look silly.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree. Alabama looked silly Saturday.
Yeah.
I've watched that game a couple of times with different parts of it.
It's hard to watch, man.
Yeah,
Unless you're a
that's
big FSU fan, that is hard to watch.
yeah, dude. I mean, it was nuts. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Me personally, I enjoyed it.
but I mean, that's the effort. Like they were flying around. I mean, running, like sprinting to the ball, and I loved that. That was my favorite part of the game, other than Zach Branch.
Yeah. Rich, man, what do you think, man? Like, what makes our defense? What can
I'll
you
tell you,
already see or hints of defense that can
if
they
you
can make
see-
it different this year?
The effort that we see and the tenacity is there. The only thing that is going to make the big difference is if our defensive line can dominate SEC offensive lines.
Mhm.
Can they get in the backfield? Can they be disruptive like they were this weekend? I don't know. We don't know that yet.
Right.
We'll get 2 weeks. We'll play Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
next
that'll
week.
be our first test.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're breaking up a little bit. Rich, man, I also think that the defensive line from a whole, I agree with you. We got to see that against the SEC. But it was cool to what I saw on Saturday was we continuously did it, and then we got back to the huddle, and then we did it again, then we got back to the huddle, and we did it again. So it's like
the defense didn't let up.
right. So like I get it, and don't get me wrong, the eye test against the SEC is definitely true. But what gives me a good note to possibly get where you're talking about going is we did it over and over and over on Saturday. It wasn't like we were a one-hit wonder on one drive.
The defense definitely kept the hammer down.
Yeah.
And what back to the offense started off like that, and then they kind of went into this lull. And now I don't know if the lull might be Bobo and Kirby saying, "Hey, let's back off a little bit,"
Mhm.
because they just didn't look the same towards the end of the first quarter going into the second quarter, and then they kind of kicked it back in at the end of the second quarter. But did y'all notice that?
Yeah. I don't for viewers and listeners tonight. I think what you need to understand is Kirby and all of his coaching staff this year understand the assignment. I think last year was a year of, how you have like a not a relapse, but kind of like you have that first failure in something. And I feel like that Kirby failed at some things last year, and I can't pinpoint them, but he went to the drawing board and went, okay, I'm not going to let these this and that affect the outcome of the team and the outcome of these games like they did last year. I don't think he's having it. I don't think he's letting it go that far. I think you're going to see players if they don't give maximum effort. That's why when you look at that, the Blue Guardian caps this year, I think what he wants from his players is, and you saw it at Alabama, man. You saw Alabama fans right now are not really complaining as much about the loss as they are the fact of, what have you guys been hearing? Nick Saban never would have allowed that, right? Never would have allowed that. And I think that's something that's going to keep rearing its head. And that's for me, I think that's my biggest thing is what makes our defense different is so far in one game and 3 scrimmages, including G-Day, is what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a bunch of young, but also the older guys, if you remember correctly, they were just told, okay, you're coming back because realistically, you're not that good anyway. You could have gone as a junior, but you really couldn't because you just really weren't that good, or injuries got you. So they have a lot to prove. The older guys have a lot to prove. Christian Millers, the Christian Millers, and I'm not calling his name, Jordan Halls. They have a lot to prove. The Xavier McLeods up there. Heck,
Oh.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but CJ Allen's got some things to prove this year as well. I mean, he was talked about last year for him looked like a drop off year for him, you know. So I think they're a little chippy, man. And you know what? I like this chippy Georgia defense right now, and I want to see enough of them on Saturday to just solidify the wave goodbye. But I don't want to see not enough of them to where our mindset isn't, let's get in there, let's get it done, and let's get the assignment right. Let's get off the field. Last but not least, around the SEC, I got 3 questions for you guys before we get into previewing this week. Pick a team, man. Tell me a team. Fish, I'll start with you. Give me a team that, other than Auburn, because you spoke on them. Tell me somebody who surprised you this week in the SEC that really, as you watched the games, you were kind of, wow, didn't expect that.
Low hanging fruit, LSU.
Yeah.
And Nussmeier. Nussmeier played a real good game, and the defense, man. Harold Perkins. I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah.
He made some big plays against Clemson. That was a fun game to watch. And I'm not a Brian Kelly fan by any means, but LSU looked good.
Yeah, good to see Perkins.
Yeah,
it's about time they got him in the right spot.
Yes.
And that
only took 3 years.
Yeah. That defense, man, looked good. Rich, man, give me a team that you were kind of like, wow, didn't see that coming.
LSU too, and it's because their defensive line absolutely destroyed a seasoned Clemson offensive line.
Yeah,
Clemson's offensive line, I think, is almost all had come back from last year. I mean, they were all
4 to 5.
experienced.
4 to 5.
So, I think all of them but one. But it was crazy. I mean, they just destroyed them.
Yeah,
they did.
I think. I mean, I know I did. I'm pretty sure I heard it from you guys that if you had the 3 or 4 SEC teams that we thought would get in the playoff, I think all of us had LSU in there. Maybe 3, 4. I mean, more of us probably had 4. If you aligned it like mine, I mean, you had Georgia, Texas, Alabama, not in any order. And then you kind of felt like LSU was good enough to be the 4th. But here's my thing. Can Auburn – my big question is, can Auburn keep this up? Can they keep this momentum up? I've talked about Hugh Freeze. I've drug him from end zone to end zone. And, we looked at Auburn. Auburn didn't tackle well. The secondary didn't play well. But, I know it's a touchy topic, but, like, Richmond, I'll start with you because we're going to Fish's
I didn't see any
weapon. That this might not
the only weapon I saw was Arnold's legs. So how are they going to – I mean, I don't think they can sustain that. They can't run him like a mule every game and expect him to make it through the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I was also shocked at Aranda's defense. I didn't think it was that impressive. Even some of the best defensive coordinators, it's still about talent, right? And I mean, I've heard more money call outs in the past, 6 days of interviews. I mean, I witnessed 4 interviews from TCU, Belichick, Fighting Belichick's got destroyed. And then, but the recent one is Dan Lanning and Gundy. I don't know if you guys heard Dan Lanning and Gundy going back and forth, but they asked him about Oregon and, their game against Oregon this week. And, Dan said, Mike Gundy said, he's doing a good job. He's using the money that they give him to assemble a great team. And then, of course, they asked Dan Lanning about what he thought about that. And Dan was like, hey, look, I'm sorry that I'm a part of a university that wants to win and that invests in winning. And I was like, Jesus, man, this NIL has coaches going nuts on the podium, man.
But
and you got Kirby, who's like on 1501, to get out of there. What were you gonna say, Fish?
Yeah. Oh no, that's just Nike money, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Gundy's got a point, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. We can't help you wearing Adidas over at
I know, dude.
I don't even know what they wear. That's so funny, man. So let me ask you this: is LSU? Do we think? I mean, I know we're not calling it right now, but does it look like after week 1, it kind of looks like LSU and Georgia maybe are on a collision path to the SEC championship?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
I think so, man.
Like that.
Don't call it a comeback as far as my predictions on Arch Manning in Texas. I almost pulled clips because you know what? The world needs to know that this podcast, we were not fooled by Texas and Arch Manning against Ohio State. I said big noon kickoff.
Nope.
I said the hype. He hasn't started against a quality team, and man, Sarkisian and Arch. I mean, I hate to say it, they let their team down, man. I mean, defense played well. They played good enough to win. I felt like Sark's offense was a little vanilla, but I don't know if he trusted. I don't know if he.
Did you see the breakdown of those disguises the defense was running against Arch?
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
I do have to give that. Matt Patricia did a
because last year Ole Miss destroyed us with those disguises. I mean, they destroyed Beck. He couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And that I was like watching those breakdowns, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, man.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Arch bounces back and has some really good games.
I mean, he will.
But he just learned a lot in that first game, so he's definitely going to be looking for those disguises, and they'll coach him up on that. So,
well, I mean, they get Bishop Sycamore this week, so they'll get a return
Bishop
this week
Sycamore.
on their investment. I mean, they got that game promptly scheduled. I think everybody had it there.
Overall, man, Texas didn't. I don't know what it is, but Sark's teams just don't seem intense to me. They seem just like almost like they just expect to win because they're Texas.
Well, so it's a team driven off of results and money, not hard work and effort. I mean, money's driven the reason why half those players chose Texas. I mean, Texas hasn't won a national championship. What is it? Drop the year for me.
Won since 1980, right?
No, it's earlier than that. What is it?
No, it's like 2006.
2006, Vince Carter.
No,
yeah.
Was it 2006?
Yeah.
But still, man, I mean, we're in 2020. I mean, bro, it wasn't a Georgia type thing. I'll go ahead and drop that. Yes, we win a pretty good while. I get it. But with all this Texas oil money, I mean, we could have bought ourselves a national championship by now. But coaching, it just goes to show coaching has to line up with talent. It just has to. And I think you see now why Kirby was so adamant in how he was addressing NIL at the beginning of the year. He's like, you can pay all the money you want, but if it doesn't line up with the pedigree of work to be put in, that needs to be put in to be successful, then money and W's don't line up. Like they don't line up.
Right.
And then guess what happens? Donors and, the collectives, they get pissed. And guess what? You don't got to worry about the people that receive the NIL getting fired. You got to worry about you getting fired. So, regardless of money and donors, you got to coach.
Let's talk about Miami then, because Miami, they threw a lot of money around, but I tell you what, man, they look tough.
Their offensive line is ridiculous. Oh my God, they played so good. Them boys were, and Notre Dame. That's the strength of their defense.
Yeah,
is their offense or their defensive line, and man, Miami just embarrassed them.
I was thoroughly
just made them look silly.
Do you guys realize? Do you guys realize that Miami, Florida State, USF, and Florida all beat up on each other within a 4-week time span?
Oh wow!
I didn't know this, but I was looking at Florida's schedule, and Florida plays USF, Miami, and Florida State back to back weeks. That's crazy, right?
We're gonna kill each other.
It's crazy. All the Florida schools in the next 3 weeks after this week, of course.
FSU and Miami and Florida Miami and FSU look really good. Florida's improved considerably, so that's going to be fascinating just to watch and see who wins the state championship down there.
Yeah, well, you're going to see it play
out.
It'll
actually be entertaining this year.
Right. It's going to play out in 4 weeks, and so mean, Florida gets the first one against USF, and USF didn't look bad against Boise, so ended up getting the win. Let's preview Austin Peay. Not a lot to preview. No offense to Austin Peay. I'm not saying that we don't take them serious. I'm just saying when you look at Austin Peay, we know a little about them. I mean, I had to literally chat GPT some of this stuff, but for the listeners, obviously, in my format is Wikipedia style. But 34-14 win, upset apparently over Middle Tennessee State. First
Yeah.
win over an FBS opponent since 1987. So, so obviously, you know, when you look at that, Kirby always takes every game seriously. You're never going to see, and even if he doesn't, he's not going to let it be known on the mic. He was actually very straightforward and blunt on the mic this week. Standout performers: Chris Parson threw for 142 yards, 2 scores. Cortland Simmons with a rushing touchdown, and Shamar Kirk led in receiving with 69 yards. Greg Jones as a new defensive coordinator. Big thing about Austin Peay this year, filled with fresh names. I think that's the new thing. I mean, well, it's going to be the trend in college football. A lot of roster turnover is going to be up in the more 50 and 60 percentile as of, you know, the future, rather than what you see now, what you see in the past, where it was more like 25, 30% was pretty bad. But
Marshall was 70%.
Who was? Yes, Marshall. Yeah.
And so was North Carolina, which was interesting.
Yeah, man, we could do a whole podcast on North Carolina, man.
We sure could.
Did you guys know that apparently in 509 straight games with the Patriots, Bill Belichick didn't give up over 48 points in one game in college football?
Yeah.
He gave up 48 points. I was like,
yeah. That's hilarious,
dude. That'll get you retired real quick. But yeah, so well, you know, attention to detail for this week is, you know, size, perceivable matchup. Biggest thing with George this year, and what you want to look at with Austin Peay is, you know, yes, we're playing Austin Peay, but this is another one of those stick-in games from the Oklahoma transition to the SEC. So we grabbed Austin Peay because we lost Oklahoma in that home and away. Sorry, and so you get them. But biggest thing is we just want to see get out to a fast start. We want to continue to see the offense just click, get out to a fast start. Defense doing the same thing as last week. Kirby was really worried about. He's still worried about stamina. Big thing with them. So I think for the starters, you know, if they're going to be in their 2 quarters, which we hope, we just hope that we see some of that stamina, some of that. I mean, I don't know. Here's something that we haven't flown out yet, and we hadn't even really talked about in our group chat. But did you guys see the amount of no huddle we did first 2 quarters? Hurry up offense.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Hopefully, he's adding a little tempo to the offense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, tempo can be a really good thing once you get, you know, people on the ropes, get a couple of first downs.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and that's something that, you know, we haven't done a lot of.
Right. Yeah, I think maybe we figured out that Gunner is kind of I mean, and a lot of people asked, they were like, is this kind of a new thing? I mean, we were in the pistol a lot. That was new. A lot of hurry up.
I like that. I like the pistol.
I think that Gunner just does really well, like some other quarterbacks, when you give him time to actually really think through stuff. I don't think it goes as well as just making him go play football. You know, it's like, go out there, don't think about it. Here's your reads. You know what you're supposed to do. Now go out there and play football. I think that's kind of what hurry up does. And I feel like sometimes that we miss that sometimes in college football. Everything is so, oh, we're going to break the huddle. We're going to look at the offense. The defense. We're going to get the info in our ear, what we're looking at. Here's what I think we should check into out of. It's like, you know, don't get me wrong, to a degree, some of that has to happen. But like, I think what you saw too on Saturday was when he went out and just played football and made decisions. A lot of those runs were not predicated on him running the football. It was him making something out of nothing, but also making really great reads, you know, not forcing what he's just getting what they gave you. And would you guys agree that last year, I mean, when Carson took off, I mean, it was just to run for his life. I think this year you can look at Gunner taking off and going, all right, we can make some things happen. He was getting 12, 14-yard chunk plays, whereas Carson was just trying to get a 5-yard first down.
We were getting blocks in the second level on the linebackers. And there were also several incidents. I didn't watch the full breakdown of the offense, but I saw some where we had the receivers making the blocks in the third level. We didn't see any of that last year. So in the first game, we're already seeing things that we talked about that we wanted to see. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree, man. I really agree. Kirby also mentioned, and I talked a little bit about it on Monday, but I heard a little bit more news on his actual presser. Speaking of coming into Austin P, I think Ernest Green and Gaston both are an ankle. He felt good about, them possibly getting back this week. I honestly think he won't do it though. I think he'll probably go if they need 1 week, he'll give them two type thing. But Kirby leans more towards not talking about it. If it's hearing him talk about it, I think brought some positivity. I think Dalen Everett was dealing with a little bit of an ankle, but I do think that Dalen was also intentionally left out of some of that. I think he wanted Daniel Harris and Ellis Robinson to have as many reps as they could, as long as he could sustain it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they did a pretty damn good job.
I think I would like to see, and I think you probably will see them jump out ahead and again play a lot of people in the second half.
Yeah.
Because I really think, I mean, you got summer camp and you're matching these guys up, trying to figure out what they do, but sometimes you don't really know till you get them in a game. So being able to get ahead and play a lot of these guys and see what they got in a game, I think that's huge.
Yeah. As we come into Austin P, Fish, do you think I threw a couple videos up on our TikTok page, if you haven't already done so, and for listeners, Dogs Down South on TikTok, and a lot of people have continued to comment that they really don't feel like, I know it's a sore topic, they don't feel like that we were very good on the offensive line on Saturday, even against a really poor Marshall team. I disagree with the size of the Marshall team. I think the size of that defensive line was pretty decent. I mean, the two inside defensive tackles were 340 and I think 340 and 310.
I think people,
they're not small human beings.
No,
I think some of that grumbling you're seeing is because of that. We don't know, but I'm assuming that towards the end of the first quarter into the second quarter, I think Kirby and Bobo pull the gas off of it.
Did you feel like
because they became very, very predictable. The play calling was very generic. They were running the ball, up the middle. And all of a sudden, we were getting stopped.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know, maybe they were trying and they just weren't good. I don't know that. But I'm assuming because the play calling was so pathetic that they pulled back. That's what I'm going with until they prove me different. But I will tell you this: I loved Gus Malzahn play calling. Dude, he was just ripping.
Yeah, but there's a difference in a play caller who's playing for their life against Alabama and playing for,
granted. But I still liked it.
Yeah. Well,
Malzahn knows how to beat Alabama.
Yeah, good. He's been what do you call it? You can't call it a giant slayer, Fish. What is it, like a Alabama slayer? I don't know.
Saban's Achilles heel.
Yeah, he's
that
been Alabama
offense
slayer
knew how to
years.
beat that defense.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm gonna be. I called for Bobo's head last year. Okay, so let's go and get that. I wasn't too ticked off about the play calling. I do think that there was nothing to win by going out there and running all your plays. I mean, we're in a 15 to 16 game season, and Marshall's not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. It's a long season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think our objective was to make sure we could run the ball on offense, get out to a fast start, and we had flashes of throwing the ball. I mean, we all said it and agreed. We don't need. I mean, do we need to Gunner? Do we need Gunner to hit one of those? I think we should have hit the Taylor Taylor play. I don't know what the miscommunication was there, but I agree with we're going to have to stretch the field. But he did what he's supposed to do. He got the ball to the playmakers. I mean, the first time Zach Branch touched the ball, you knew it. I mean, he only got 14 yards, but it was the most electric 14 yards we've seen 4 seasons at Georgia. So you knew he was going to
It
bust
was.
something somewhere. So
Yeah.
you can clearly see we're not going to ask them to do anything. Bo's not going to have to do anything exotic. If we can just block and do and get the ball to the playmakers, they're going to be able to do that. So I agree with you to some extent that the play calling got vanilla, but I don't think we need to show 10. I mean, we have a pretty daunting stretch coming up after Austin Peay. I mean, we got Tennessee and Knoxville. We got an off week to let Alabama have an extra week to get ready for us at home. You get Alabama, who's going to be a pissed off Alabama, because that'll be the second game on national TV that they're on the road. That if they lose that game in bad fashion, it really starts to get really thick in Tuscaloosa, man. It really does, because there's a lot left on the field to have 2 losses in your first 5 games. Then we got to go and we got to play Auburn at Auburn. And if I'm not mistaken, I've already seen the presumable game times for that Auburn game. And I'm not looking too far ahead, but it's looking like a night game in Jordan here. So I'm fine with if we were pulling the playbook back, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I mean, we have a lot more on the table. I'm hoping. So I agree with you on the matter of, I think it was a pulled back play session, but
and Auburn will run Arnold 40 times to beat us.
Yeah, they're not
blow
going to
him out. He'll be done for the season.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do that. Final question before we get into picks, and it might be a controversial one too. At the end of the day, when you look at Gunner and you look at Puglisi, we saw Puglisi come in, right? He looked really good, man. He's got a really live arm. He ran the ball a few times. The one thing you will get from it is we have a competent backup quarterback. And I don't even know if Kirby calls it a backup. But do you think, in your honest opinion, and I'm going to ask both of you, I'm going to give you the time. I'll start with you, Viz. Do you think, in your honest opinion, that Puglisi needs to see more time, or do you think that arm might be called on later in the year? Or do you think Gunner, we just didn't see a lot of that because he didn't have to do a lot of that?
I feel like we have a decent backup situation. Like when Eason went down and Fromm came in, Puglisi could be that guy if something ever happened to Gunner, God forbid. But the way Gunner's running the ball, if he takes a lick, and even if it's just like something that has him out for like the rest of that game or whatever, then I feel like Puglisi can come in and definitely not miss a beat. I think he'll be able to run the offense, but maybe the offense changes a little bit, when he comes in. Like maybe they throw it a little more? Probably not. It probably gets a little run heavy, but he's definitely the better passer in my opinion than Gunner. Our big plays were swing passes. Like Gunner never stretched the field, and yeah, I know. We're not showing the whole playbook. We're gonna, keep some things, hidden, until we play the bigger teams. But every other game I watched, it seemed like there was somebody, they were going deep. They were, a big play, big pass play downfield, stretching the field. The new quarterbacks, every team that had a new quarterback, their quarterback seemed to come in and just, let it rip. And, it's not hard to run, a streak, or a deep post or something like that. Who cares if it's an overthrow or interception, especially if we're up by 28. Just let the man throw the ball. Like I'm so excited. I just can't wait to see. Like we got these playmakers, dude. We got all these receivers. We got these dudes that are supposed to be able to make plays and stretch the field. And for the love of God, like I want to see it.
Yeah.
Like show me.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby's old school, and when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
I know, but if we're up 28, you know what I'm saying? Just, maybe it's not like what we live and die on, but,
I know what you're saying, man. I've been waiting for it too, but.
Listen. I'm go ahead. Rich man, what do you think, man? Because people been I call them the fine bombers. I mean, we have a couple of outlets here and there on our TikTok page that, I made a thing about Gunner. I said, I think we see that, Gunner's a dog. He's not a real loud talker on a microphone, but he's loud in the huddle. He was barking. I mean, dude, when he ran that first touchdown, he was barking at the lineman. Like,
That's awesome.
that's where you see
I love that.
the competitor in Gunner, right? So, like,
Mhm.
he's
Well,
winning. The microphone don't win games, man. I mean, it takes
Yeah.
guts.
You're not going to see
Yep.
Puglisi in a meaningful situation unless Gunner gets hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what
That's
I'm
right.
saying.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I was hoping you guys didn't take the bait because the Fine Bombers are like, I'm going to call them all year the Fine Bombers, but the Fine Bombers are like, Puglisi is a better quarterback, and it's like, listen, man, if you haven't already seen it, talent alone at the quarterback position is not getting these teams to national championships. Can we all agree that Will Howard was not the best quarterback in college football last year?
Yeah.
He didn't need to be.
Absolutely not.
He didn't
Not
need
even
to be.
close.
Right. Go back another year before that. Who won the national championship the year before that?
Michigan.
Who was
Yeah,
their quarterback? I'll wait.
JJ. Wasn't it?
Did he win a national championship? I mean, did he
No, it
did he
wasn't
win a
JJ.
Heisman?
Was it JJ?
No,
It
he
was.
didn't win a Heisman,
No.
and he's
Didn't
not.
win a Heisman. Is he playing on an NFL team right now? Is he starting?
I don't know if he's playing or not, but
My
He's
that's
not.
my thing, man. It's not about is Gunner a Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, we had a Heisman Trophy like hype session over Arch Manning, and he went out and laid a duck on Saturday. Matter of fact, I think Rich Man, you mentioned it a couple of times. Some of those medium to intermediate throws across the middle, those little sidearm chunks he threw. What is that, man? Like, he
Yeah,
clearly needs
terrible.
all this year and next year if he's going to go to the league.
It was terrible.
I agree.
I mean, your
Yeah,
Fine
they
Bombers,
definitely.
your Fine Bombers, they got more hair than they got brains. So
Well,
that's the category we're gonna put them in.
you could say, I guess you could say more brains for me than hair because I don't have hair. Fish has more hair than me and you combined, maybe. But
Yeah, yes. Don't hate me.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's pick these games, man. This will be fun. We'll start out in the SEC and then we'll go grab the big ones. 12 o'clock, ABC, San Jose. We don't got a lot of great games this week, guys. But San Jose
this
State,
is
number
one of those
7,
weeks.
Texas. Texas is favored 36.5. Fish, who you got?
Texas.
I guess better to say this is, and
Did you say
better to say is, will they
36.5?
cover the spread?
Did you say 36.5?
36.5. Texas at
Well,
home.
they won't cover.
Fish.
No,
just
but
gonna go cover.
Arch will have a bet. He'll cover. No, I mean, yeah, yeah, they'll cover. I think Arch comes out and has a rebound game, a pretty good rebound game. He's already shown us that he can play against high school teams, and that's basically what you're getting into, this weekend. So yeah, they cover.
High school teams. That's good. Rich Man, you got the win. Do they cover? I think you said no.
They don't cover. They'll win. They're not gonna cover.
Cover up their Lambos if it's going to rain.
Yeah, but get the covers out.
Texas A&M, man. I mean, I mentioned these guys. They didn't look that great against UTSA, man. So Texas A&M number 19, and the problem was they didn't run the freaking football. Utah State 12:45 SEC Network. Texas A&M 31.5. I think we all have Texas A&M in this one. Rich Man, cover or no cover? 31.5 at home.
I don't think they'll cover that.
I think they're going to run the football. I don't think they cover either. Fish, what you got?
No, absolutely not.
Ole Miss.
But I got them winning. But yeah,
you got them winning. Yeah, I figured that. Ole Miss heads to Kentucky. Oh, how bad?
That's the game. Look? That's the only game this weekend.
How bad was Kentucky on Saturday? How bad?
I was hoping for that upset because I picked Toledo actually to win that.
You
game,
almost
got
got
what
it.
I wanted.
And Zach Calzada almost gave it to you. So bad, man. They're so bad. I feel Seth McGowan, man.
Yep.
I'd pick Seth McGowan up from Kentucky in a heartbeat, man. He's just so bad, man. All right, let's pick it. Who you got, Fish?
Give me Ole Miss. What's the spread?
Spread is 9.5.
Yeah, they cover. I think they win by 2
matter
touchdowns.
of fact, I might take the points too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the points.
Who you got, Rich man?
Oh, I'll take the points. Yeah, they're going to cover.
Yeah, I got. This is a blowout, bro. This is a blowout.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a revenge match.
Yeah, Kentucky's bad. They're bad, dude.
Yeah.
3:30
Kentucky beat them last
ESPN.
year.
Yeah, Tennessee, East Tennessee State. Tennessee, there's no cut. There's no line. Tennessee at home, 22nd ranked Tennessee. Who you got, Fish? This is a hard week, man. This is the week that Saban used to talk about needs to go away.
Yep.
So glitchy, man.
Yeah, I agree 110%. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing this week.
Yeah.
Like, where's game day at this week?
Game days we're in Pickett. It's in Michigan. It's in Oklahoma. You
okay.
got Tennessee, Richmond. Who you got? Tennessee, East Tennessee State.
Yeah.
We'll mow through these. 3:30, Missouri, Kansas. Missouri only favored a slight 6.5 points at home. Who you got, Fish?
Kansas.
I like Kansas, man. Fast quarterback.
I think they're better. I think they're a better team than Missouri.
Fast quarterback. Missouri won
I've
by
seen them
61.
play. We've seen them play twice.
Yep.
And we've seen them play twice this year. And it's a home game for Kansas, so yeah.
I'll go with Mizzou.
Yeah, Mizzou at home, 6.5.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Kansas, man. I think Kansas is fast. I think Kansas looked like they had a little bit better of a defense. I know the last 2 years, Kansas, they could score. They just couldn't stop anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got that. Interesting game. Arkansas State, 5 p.m. ESPN. Man, old Butch, right? Butch Jones, old Tennessee coach at Arkansas State. Arkansas is favored by 23.5. This is a trap game right here for Arkansas, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Who you got, Rich man?
I agree.
Well, I'm going to take Arkansas, but 23.5, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Fish, who you got?
Yeah, I definitely don't think they cover, but Woo Pig.
Woo Pig. I got Arkansas tailing green too much, but I will tell you, it'll be embarrassing if it's close. Very embarrassing. It will start to tell a story. It will be very, very embarrassing if they get an upset. This game has been marked because this is, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's at Arkansas State. So, very interesting there. South Carolina State. Yikes. I guess this is the one that South Carolina was due. Who you got, Fish?
South Carolina.
You just got to pick it, man. It's a terrible week of football right here. Terrible week. Who you got, Rich man?
Just got to power through.
Who you got, Rich man?
South Carolina.
LSU, Louisiana Tech, 37.5 point favorites at home. This was, I guess, the LSU, like, if we screw up the first game again, we get Louisiana Tech. Really quick, I think we all have LSU in this one. Do they cover 37.5? Fish, do they cover?
No, I think Kelly pulls the starters after they get up about 35.
Yeah, I agree. Rich man?
I agree. Yeah, I don't think they cover.
I think he pulls it. Yeah. Wild. Here's a good one. This is a tricky one, man. 4:15 SEC Network. Florida in the swamp versus a now tricky USF team. Man, they're giving Florida 17.5 at home against a team that just beat Boise handily. Tricky trap game for Florida right here. Richmond, who you got?
I got Florida, but I don't think they'll cover.
Fish?
Yeah, I agree. Same. They win, but they don't cover.
Man, did you guys watch the game, the USF game?
I watched it, yeah.
I did.
USF has a defense. Yep. They have a defense, guys.
They do. They made Boise look bad.
This one's close, man.
Like
I want to call upset on this one so bad. It's close.
It could happen.
I'll go Florida. No cover. I'll come in with you and guys on that one. 7:30, Mississippi State, Arizona State. It's apparently there have been cowbells being rung at practice in the ears of players. This is a 7:30 game. Listen, guys, Arizona State's only getting 6.5 points on the road, ranked number 12. Who do you got, Richmond?
Arizona State.
Okay, Fish.
I think Mississippi State looked good enough last weekend to affect the spread a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still think Arizona State's got a little too much for them. Mississippi
The
State's
thing
not
that gives
quite
me-
there yet.
Yeah, the thing that gives me hope about Mississippi State is, guys, they ran the ball really well. They ran the ball. They were 78% of the time they threw the ball last year. I think they ran the ball like 50-50 last week. That gives me hope. But yeah, I don't think Arizona State is going to lose against Mississippi State. Like I got Arizona State. I think they cover. I think they will cover. I don't know if Mississippi State's that good. Auburn, Ball State. We don't have to pick the team, but we do have to look at the spread. 43.5 at home. 43.5.
Lord,
Fish.
that's a
do they
lot,
cover?
dude. No way. Yeah.
43.5, man.
And they have to shut them out. They'll score 43. They got to shut them out to cover.
Yeah. Rich man, do they cover?
I think they'll get 43.
No way.
I agree. I don't think they cover. I think they pull them as well. Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt. Virginia Tech looked pretty good against Tennessee. It was the first game. They had jitters, young team. Virginia Tech's favored by 1.5, but it's also in Blacksburg, right? I don't think that Pavia will have his family there. They got arrested this past weekend, so I don't know if they'll still be serving any jail time. So I don't know if that'll affect the outcome of the game.
Wow.
Virginia Tech,
No talk
Vanderbilt, the Pavia brothers, man, you can't even get a win. It's Charleston Southern, bro. You may get jail time for Alabama, I get that, but Charleston Southern like equals jail time. That's wild, dude. Fish, who you got? Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt.
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech, man. So
I didn't know about all that. You didn't know about
before.
I was ready to pick Vanderbilt. No, but then you said that, and I was like, okay, Pavia's going to be distracted.
The Fighting Pavias, man, got arrested. The two brothers apparently got into a fight after the win against Charleston Southern. Who is did we talk about Charleston Southern?
Why?
Dude? I went and saw this place.
No.
The field is not even they don't even have updated equipment. I mean, this is not something to fight about, man. Yeah.
I know,
check
like,
their
I don't
mugshots
understand.
out.
Like, why?
Yeah. Rich man, who you got? Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech.
Hilarious.
Vandy. Pavia's going to have a head of steam. Vandy's going to take the day.
Blacksburg, they're going to play, what's the song, man? Inner Sandman? Is that Inner Sandman at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg? It's at night game in Blacksburg? No, man. Virginia Tech takes this, and Pavia's the Pavias don't even see the game because they can't have TV past 7.
They're gonna have to fight to get the TV turned to ESPN. Them boys gonna be watching Love Island.
Louisiana Monroe, Alabama. Spread is 36.5 at home. DeBoer goes home. Are we really? Let's talk about this. I think we know Alabama's going to win, but do they cut? Three-part question. Do they cover? Does DeBoer get booed at any time in the game? And the third thing is like, does Ty Simpson look any better? And if if any backups get any time, like, could this be a coming out moment for another guy that's been waiting in the wings? I know that's a lot of questions, but I think it's doable. Like, what do you think? Like, DeBoer get booed closer than normal? Do we see a backup quarterback that kind of outshines Ty Simpson and causes a stir? What you got, Fish? Any of that, man, is more exciting than the game.
This is how you know Alabama fans are ridiculous. Okay, all right. DeBoer lost the first game. First, Alabama doesn't lose season openers. I get it. That's his 4th loss versus a ranked team in his 2 years. Saban didn't lose to a ranked team but 4 times in 17 years. So I get that they're upset. I understand. But now I know what this man's buyout is after 1 week. After 1 week, I know what his salary buyout is. Because that's something that people are actually talking about, man. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Like, talk about overreaction and, like, butthurt fans. Like, the whole fan base. Like, even Legend on Monday, like, on Feinbaum was just yelling for 5 minutes.
Dude crashed out.
He did. He crashed out big time, dude. Oh, my God. And DeBoer looked so, like, remember last year he caught slack for, like, what he wore when he was coaching because he wore, like, the pullover and the hat. And they said he didn't look professional. That's not Alabama, whatever. So this week they get what they want. He comes out in his little polo shirt and he's got it all tucked in, his belly hanging over his belt, and he's got his little hat on. Then he just looks so sad over there standing in the rain watching Florida State beat them up. But I don't think he gets booed. I think, they get about 3/4 of the way full. Bryant Denny, I think they get it about 3/4 of the way full, and everybody there is happy to be there. They cheer their team on, and they blow out whoever they're playing.
Rich man, what's
How many
most likely
meth
to happen?
pipes do you have to sell to get $70 million for the buyout?
Now you know why people in Alabama don't have many teeth.
Golly.
Yes,
They're donating to the
absolutely.
NIL. They're donating to NIL over getting their grills fixed. So,
Dude, I think they're going to beat the
Yep.
crap out of them. And I agree with Fish.
I think
it's-
DeBoer gets a little boo, man. I think he gets a little boo bird at some point in time. Negative play here or there, something happens. Ryan Williams, by the way, guys. Ryan Williams needs to get off
he looked
TikTok.
terrible.
He
Concussion.
needs to
He
get off
looked
TikTok and get
terrible.
off and lead that team, dude. You can tell he's an 18-year-old kid right now. And
But he's also not
You can tell.
he's not playing anything like he did last year.
no, he's not checked out, but the fame of
He was
NIL, man, it's
dropping
hard.
balls.
It's hard. The team that can stay checked
It
in
is.
is gonna be the one that prevails at the end of the day. Two more games, two more that actually I think for most part matter. Oklahoma State, we talked about it earlier, goes into Oregon, game outside of the SEC. Oregon's favored 29.5. This is an Oklahoma State team though that has a lot to prove this year. A lot of people are calling for Gundy's job. They're saying have we kind of ran out of steam against Mike Gundy? Who you got? Fish, Oregon, Oklahoma State, 3:30 in Corvallis. My fault.
Lanning's going to have his team.
Eugene.
Lanning's going to have his team motivated. He's going to definitely, Gundy gave him definitely some bulletin board material. But I like Mike Gundy. I really do. I think he's hilarious. Some of his post game conferences have made me laugh a lot, like belly laugh. But Oregon's got him. It won't be. They're not going to cover though. There's no way.
Yeah. Rich man, who you got? Oregon, Oklahoma State.
I got Oregon, but I think I'd like to see Oregon State give them a run in the first half.
Yeah.
Because Oklahoma State, historically they've been like that. They will give teams a run for their money. So it'd be nice to see them do that.
They do.
But
They play
I
better
think
than they're supposed to a lot.
I think they'll run away with it in the second half, and I don't think they'll cover. But I think Oregon's safe.
Last game.
I think Lanning's biggest problem this week is what uniform they're going to wear.
Right. I'm pretty sure that they go over that schedule at some point in time in the year, and he yay or nays that. 7:30 ABC game day will be in without Lee Corso. God, man, it's like he's not here anymore. Yeah, sad, but I know he'll be watching the game from the comfort of his recliner at home now. At 7:30 p.m. ABC, Norman, Oklahoma. New revamped offense, Oklahoma Sooners versus the Michigan. Looked like they needed to figure it out a little bit last week, but pulled it through. Got a young quarterback coming in to Norman. Game day's there. This is a 7:30 night game in Norman. It's going to be loud. OU's got 5.5 points on them. Rich man, who you got, man?
I got Oklahoma.
Do they cover?
I tell you, that quarterback looked really good. I don't know what their team's going to be like this year, but that quarterback looked really good. And if that was the piece if that was the missing piece, I think they're going to surprise some people this year.
Yeah, I agree. Fisher, you got?
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is going to be too much for the freshman. I think that's going to rattle him. I think he's going to go out there and look a lot like Arch did at Ohio State, and he's not going to be able to drive the offense very well. So give me Oklahoma. I don't know if they cover or not, though. Maybe a touchdown, Maybe maybe they cover,
Bryce Underwood, the exciting freshman. He looked a little bit behind the curve. Athleticism is there, but a little bit behind the curve. It's hard coming in and
Norman's loud.
Yeah, It's hard. I like Mateer. I like what I saw in those receivers. Home game defense looked good. Too much probably for Michigan this time around. I think they do cover. I actually have Oklahoma in this one, maybe like 10, 13 points. I just love the offense. I didn't see the defense do anything shockingly amazing against a fairly less opponent this past Saturday. So I mean, I like Oklahoma. I think they pull it out, and it creates an interesting matchup coming around the corner with Oklahoma and Auburn collide here in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe.
That's
So,
another game in Norman.
Yeah. So, man, so a little lackluster week. I mean, obviously we have goals this week. We'll end on that. So obviously Georgia Austin P is our final pick, and I think we all can agree we're probably going to have Georgia. Any naysayers about Georgia not winning this game? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Oh no, I'll be there. They better win.
Oh, heading to the game.
Yeah, they better then.
Incredible. Yeah, they better win then. Talk to
They
me about
win.
really quick. Give me a 30-second take on what we need to see against ourselves in this game heading into Tennessee, Fish. What about you first, Fish?
Defense, don't change a thing. Keep it up. Keep up that intensity. That's what I want to see. I love the defense play. The run game, we need to break some 15, 20-yard runs that don't involve Gunner, where all he has to do is turn around and hit it. Now, Dwight Phillips broke that touchdown. I know that, but more consistently against a team that we're supposed to be able to do things like that against,
Right.
That's not the definite barometer, for the offense by any means, what you can do against these teams. I understand that these are basically preseason games, but I mean, I said it earlier about the passing game, man. Like, I want to see against these teams that we're supposed to have these big plays against, like I want to at least have one, maybe not both weeks, but one during one of these games, we have a Sports Center top 10, maybe, like, Zach Branch, that was a swing pass, but, maybe like somebody breaks a big run, like Nate Frazier really broke off and hit a big lick and, in one run,
Yeah.
Neither did, Dwight Phillips looked good. Chauncey Bowens looked decent, but let's break some big runs.
Right. Richman, what do you got, man? What do you need to see us versus us?
I would really like to see the offense just like steamroll, no let up at all. And I don't care if it's play calling or whether it's an offensive line, but let's get that steamroll moving and don't let up. Don't let up.
Yep.
I mean, I hate to say you're not going to get it. I think you will. But I think they're going to work on – I think there's going to be some things worked on in this game that are going to be outside the context of possibly, like, scoring. I think they'll use this as a I don't want to undermine us playing Austin P. I don't want to do that because next thing you know, we're sitting here biting our nails trying to figure out if we can stop the run, or they're not going to come in and not play. They're going to lay down and not play. But I do think what I'd like to see, obviously every area consistently getting better from last week, even though we had a lot of areas that did really, really well. I think this week I'd like to see some play action. I'd like to see Gunner really trying to air it out a little bit, seeing if we can hit some balls deep downfield. I'd love to see if we can just see that live, And I think I would overdo it a little bit. I think there's a couple plays where I would just let it loose. If we get 6 or 7 chunk yards on first down, I think we should automatically go, we need to have this in our bag. We need to see if Taylor and Zach Branch, and I mean, I want to see Noah Thomas get more throws his way, and Colby Young. I mean, let's see them get some 50-50 balls.
Please.
We're going to need it. I mean, we're going to need it against. We're not going to be able. I get it. We're going to have to run the football, but we're not going to be able to go in and just run the football against Tennessee. I mean, if we do, it's going to be terrible for Tennessee. But I think we're going to have some continuity in our offense and not just be able to go, we'll throw it, we may not catch it. But let's see what we can do. I want to see the ball aired out, and I want to see us stretch the field a little bit. I'd love to see that. Guys, it's still going to be a fun week. Anytime college football's on the TV, it's a fun week. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a down week until we get into SEC play next week. Next week will be a fun show. But always a pleasure. For dog fans that are tuning in tonight, Dog Nation, if you haven't already done so, where can you find us? If you look right up here in the top right of the screen, you can see we're on Apple Podcasts, almost 24 hours later, you can bet on this being up and ready to go and go and listen to it. If you haven't already done so, go catch episode 71, where I had an overreaction Monday where I broke down injuries, play from the previous, a little bit more into the Marshall game, as well as injury updates, my power rankings, and all those things are on there. Then you can catch this episode 24 hours later, as well as on YouTube. Trying to get to 1,000 followers. Help us out by liking and following Facebook, Spotify, and then TikTok. Make sure you go like and follow Dogs Down South. For myself, for Rich Man, for Fish, guys, it's been a pleasure. All the listeners, hope you have a great weekend and a great week. And as always, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.